The further we go into the year, the more we have books that are coming out that sound so good, and there's not enough time to read all of them. The struggle. Hi my lovely readers and queers, welcome back to my channel. I am Franny, and today's video is all about the books coming out in March and April that I'm highly anticipating. Just like I did in the first episode, I want to say, of this series where I talk about all the book releases coming out in 2024. First, I'm going to talk about those books that I'm really highly anticipating and I cannot wait for them to come out. And I'm going to tell you the title, the author, the release date, and why they are on my radar, why they caught my interest. Just a few things, not too many details. I like to go into books without knowing too much about them so that I can enjoy them more and be surprised. And at the very end of this video, I will very quickly go through a list of books that are still coming out in March and April of this year and that are on my radar. I'm aware of them coming out, but I'm not dying to read them as soon as they come out. I will check up on them sometime later this year and I will see what other readers think of them. I still think that they're worth mentioning, but they're not as high on my priority list. Hi, Franny from the future here. Well, my other Franny's future. Anyways, after filming this video, I found out about 2 more books that were coming out in March that were not on my radar before filming this video, but now I really want to get to. Like, they sound that good. I just saw them and they went from unknown to, oh, top of my priority list. So I would be a terrible booktuber and a terrible reader and human being, honestly, if I didn't add them to this video. So I will be popping up, you know, at the correct release date to tell you about these books. So if you see a different lighting, slightly different position, those things, you know why. First on my list is a book coming out on March 19th, and that is Cascade's Failure. This is the first book in the Ambits Run series by LM Sagas. This is their debut, and the blurb says that it is a highly commercial sci-fi adventure for fans of Becky Chambers. And that's me, basically. I love Becky Chambers' sci-fi stories because they do not focus on the sci-fi aspect that much. They're mostly about the characters and their lives, and that's what I'm there for. I love sci-fi stories, but only when they are dumbed down for me, you know, for people like me, because I do not understand anything at all of all that tech sci-fi space talk. Like, if you start talking about spaceships, robots, and, you know, specific tech engineering things, you've lost me, and I just start feeling like a dumb idiot that cannot understand what she's reading, and so I get pulled out of the story and I just give up and I don't read the book. And for some time that has kept me away from all types of sci-fi books, and then Becky Chambers came along with her Monk and Robot series of novellas, and I loved them so much, and those were just the right thing for me. And I think that this book will fall in that same category because it is highly commercial and it's for fans of Becky Chambers. So I think that, you know, the tech aspect of it won't be as important, and it'll mostly be about the characters and their life adventures, and you know, that's what I like. So I have really high hopes for this one. I don't know if the 19th of March is Becky Chambers Day, but on March 19th there's another cozy sci-fi book coming out, and that is Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. And this one is about an hotel in space, and there's also a mystery going on. Honestly, if you add, okay, the cozy sci-fi for fans of Becky Chambers and a mystery novel, I love what's happening, you know? I love that for me, okay? So I think this is one that I might pick up as soon as it comes out, because, you know, the moment I heard about it, first of all, gorgeous cover, and then the moment I heard about it, I was like, oh goodness, if this is not a favorite book of 2024, I will be disappointed. Next on my list is The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties by Jessica Sutanto. This is the 3rd book in the Aunties series. The first one was Dial A for Aunties, and the second one was For Aunties and a Wedding, and I loved the first book in the series. The second one was just okay. I feel like it was a bit too much over the top, a bit too much unbelievable, even though that's kind of like the vibe of the whole series, but it was just a bit too much. But I'm really highly anticipating the third one because Maddie and her aunties and her now husband are going to be in Jakarta, and I feel like that will be the root of so many misunderstandings and so much chaos, just mayhem, and I'm here for it. It's going to be so much fun, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I will be listening to the audiobook for sure, because that's how I read the first two books, and the audiobook was so good because the narrator for the auntie's voice is just amazing. I will put her name on the screen. I cannot remember right now. I think it was Lisa something, and she was incredible, and I cannot wait. As I've said, it's going to be incredible. March 26th I will be starting The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties. Hopefully the audiobook is available immediately on Storytel, but yes, I cannot wait. Also coming out on March 26th is How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin, and this is supposed to be for fans of Knives Out. All I know about this one is that there has been a murder and people have been summoned to like this huge estate whose owner died, and I listened to the sample of the audiobook and I really liked the voice narrator. I actually have an e-arc for this one, but I'm not gonna read it before the book comes out because I want to listen to the audiobook. And yes, I will be honest, what hooked me was the reference to Knives Out, but like so many books that have come out in the past months, if not years, have had, you know, for fans of Knives Out at the beginning of the blurb, and then you read the book and it's nothing at all like Knives Out. And I do understand why, because Knives Out is so majestic and unique and perfect as a movie that it's hard to have a book that like captures the same vibe. But I'm here for it. Like, I want to find that one book that will give me the same Knives Out vibe and feelings and appreciation for the mystery genre and for the type of story. And hopefully this is the one. We shall see. Also, coming out on March 26th, we have In Walked Trouble by Dana Hawkins. And if you remember, I've talked about Dana Hawkins in my previous episode of books coming out in 2024 that I'm highly anticipating. She came out on January 31st with Not in the Plan, which coincidentally I'm currently listening to. I'm still halfway through. It's still too soon to tell if I'm loving it or not, or if it's just like an okay sapphic romance, but I am liking the writing style, and I don't know what this is about, to be honest, but it is set in Seattle again. It's kind of like the second installment in the Single in Seattle companion novel series, and I am surprised that she has another book coming out so soon. And fun enough, and this is just plain weird, I saw that she has another book coming out in August, and I'm like, what's happening with publishing? Like, the audiobook is good so far, so if I end up liking it, I will for sure be picking up these books, you know, as soon as they come out, because as I've said, in 2024, I'm here for the gay stories, I'm here for the queer love stories, and if you give me good sapphic romance books, I will be reading them for sure. So I really hope that I found a new, you know, sapphic romance favorite author. That would be great. I am so excited about this one. Coming out on April 2nd, we have Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrun. And Alison Cochrun is the author of The Charm Offensive, which I have not read yet, and Kiss Her Once for Me, that I did read, and it was absolutely incredible. I loved it so much. Such a great sapphic romance. And that one had fake dating, which is one of my favorite tropes in romance. But this one is about childhood friends that are not friends anymore and that are kind of like forced to go on a road trip to drive their teacher somewhere, something like that. I do not know. It's written by Alison Cochrun. I really want to read another book of hers, and I cannot wait for this one to come out. It's a sapphic romance again, and I know that it's going to be so good, and I cannot wait. April 2nd. Molten Death by Leslie Karst. This one is very interesting. It's coming out also on April 2nd, and it is set in Hawaii. It's a cozy mystery novel where we have two women who are married. So we have two wives as main characters in this story, and they find themselves involved in the investigation for this murder that happens in Hawaii. And I don't know, doesn't it sound awesome? I don't think I've ever heard about a cozy mystery book set in Hawaii where the main characters are wives married to each other. Like, Just give me that, okay? As a newly wifey, that's all I want. That's all I want. I want a cozy mystery book with two women who are married to each other investigating a crime. That's just the dream. That's just the book dream right there. I will be reading it this summer because, you know, Oahi just makes me think of summer, so I won't be reading it right away, but only because of the setting and also because I'm a mood like and seasonal reader. But it is definitely high on my priority list. Like, this is being read this year, and you will hear my thoughts on this one. I really hope it's good because the premise is just amazing, and it's a series. So, you know, I really do hope that I enjoyed the first one so that I can have more books to be looking forward to with, you know, these wives as main characters. That's just sounds awesome to me. Coming out on April 16th, there's Late Bloomers by Mazey Eddings, and this one is about a woman who won the lottery and she decided to buy a flower farm. And when she gets to this farm, the rightful owner of the farm shows up, and I think they kind of have to live together at the farm. That's another trope that I like, you know, when you have like a forced cohabitation sort of trope thing going on. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be good. I have a good feeling, you know. Last book on my priority list is Evenings and Weekends by Oisìn McKenna. This one is set in London in 2019, and we follow three different characters who I think are all queer and like in their late 20s, early 30s, if I'm not mistaken. It is for fans of Sally Rooney and Tori Peters, which, you know, those are pretty big names to be compared to. But I'm going to read to you the part of the blurb that really captivated me, besides the cover that is absolutely gorgeous. And besides the fact that it is set in London, and I have a thing for all books set in London now because my heart is in London and that's where I want to go live. I want to move to the UK as soon as possible. But anyways, strikingly heartfelt, sexually charged, and disarmingly comic, Oisìn McKenna's addictive, page-turning debut is a mesmerizing dive into the soul of a city and a critical look at the political, emotional, and financial hurdles facing young adults trying to build lives there and often leaving for their evenings and weekends. And that's very interesting to me. I know that London is a very expensive city where it's hard for young adults, meaning adults who just entered their adulthood, I want to say, to, you know, settle down and find a place where to live, pay rent and bills with their very low income. And it follows, you know, queer characters, and I'm expecting great things from this book. I really cannot wait. So these are the books coming out in March and April that I'm really highly anticipating, and I cannot wait for them to be out so that I can read them ASAP. But now I have a few books to mention that are still coming out these months and that I think are worth mentioning, even though, you know, I won't be getting to them as soon as they come out. I still think that you might be interested in them. I Feel Awful Things by Laura Pico. This is a young adult graphic novel featuring witches, and actually think I might have an e-arc for this one, so I might get around to it sooner than I thought. And it is coming out on March 5th. Also coming out on March 5th, we have The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste. This is a young adult queer novel, again featuring witches. The Lumbering Giants of Windy Pines by Mo Nets. This is a middle grade fantasy book that is coming out on March 12th. And last but not least, Neighborhood Watch by Sarah S. Rada. This is a mystery thriller coming out on April 2nd. And this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to read any of these books, if they were already on your radar, if you perhaps have already read any of these. And also let me know if there are other books coming out in March and April that you are highly anticipating and that were not on my list. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon with another video, and until then, have a good one, take care, and keep reading queer books. Bye! Warm hugs!